Over 30 and still not married, no kids. How unambitious can you get? Well, I guess there's something off about Mike's personality. Being plastic can't conceal the true essence of your personality. That's what an old classmate, whom I hadn't seen in years, said to ridicule me for still being single at a reunion. Despite there being other unmarried folks there, how could he loudly and boldly make such a comment? It's like, men and women aren't really complete until they have kids, right? Our generation is literally the foundation of society, and yet there are some who choose to wander alone. I can fathom it. Haha, right, Mr. Smith. Just as I was about to retort, the entrance door opened, and a beautiful woman walked in. Sorry I'm late. Oh, Mike. She called my name and ran over to me with a bright smile. Just seeing that smile made me feel like my heart was filled with happiness. Then, gently taking my hand, she whispered, I'm so glad to see you, while looking into my eyes with a passionate gaze. This reunion turned out to be the catalyst for a complete turnaround in Mark's and my condition. Sir Mike, help me out here. Sure, I'm on my way. Hey, can you help here too? I'm next in line and require hands-on assistance here. Hey, the boss is only one person. Give him a break. If you think so, then you should help out too, director. While I was busily moving around, responding to the various calls, the director was laughing heartily beside me. I am Mike Johnson, busy working in the office with my colleagues. At 31, I'm in the prime of my working years. The company I joined is stable, and my career is going smoothly, with a fair bit of advancement. The workplace atmosphere is warm and very comfortable, and I consider myself lucky to have found such a company. Mike, you're quite popular. All you need now is a girlfriend to be perfect. Director, that's none of your business. As the director said this, laughter echoed around the department. There they go again, teasing Mike. Well, the director's right. I don't have a girlfriend, but I have many friends. My private life is quite fulfilling, so it's not a big deal. After a busy period at work, I finally get a break. I check the messages on my smartphone as usual. There was a message from my mother. Are you coming for Christmas? Jack and Lily are really looking forward to it. Jack and Lily are my sister's kids. We have a tradition of having Christmas dinner at my parents' house every year, along with my sister's family. However, I've missed the past few years due to my job schedule. That's why my nephews have been begging me to come for this coming Christmas. I know they're mostly excited for the presents, but I'm also looking forward to seeing them after such a long time. Tell them to look forward to their gifts. I reply and put down my phone. It's winter, and Christmas is just around the corner. The office atmosphere is somewhat festive. Those who are away from home must be feeling it even more, eagerly awaiting the day when they can see their family at home. Watching my cheerful junior colleagues, I can't help but feel a bit envious. Well, it's just this season, I guess. Mumbling to myself, my phone vibrates. It's a quick reply from my mom. Good to hear you are coming. Bring me a gift your wedding use, okay? I sigh at the unnecessary phrase. Ever since my sister got married, the pressure to do the same seems to have intensified. I'm not opposed to the idea, but it's not something I can do without a partner. Without replying, I close the message. And on the weekend, I head to the bustling shopping mall, filled with families. I've already done some research on what to buy for my nephew and niece, based on what my sister told me. However, with so many options, I'm a bit lost. Excuse me, Mike. While I'm contemplating over the colorful array of toys, someone calls me from behind. Turning around, there's Mark, an old college friend. Mark, long time no see. Running into Mike here, of all places. Has it been since graduation? Yeah, I think so. Mark and I met in college when we were in the same club. However, Mark was known for his rude behavior towards everyone, and most of us tried to avoid interact with him as much as possible. I didn't really want to associate with him, but I couldn't just ignore him in club activities, so I made an effort to talk to him and include him. This apparently didn't sit well with him, and I eventually found myself disliked by Mark. According to him, I was just acting like a good guy. Moreover, I was favored by the senior members in the club and was recommended as the next club president, which seemed to have further upset Mark. He openly criticized me, which led to his complete isolation within the club. There was a girl in the club who Mark often talked to, Sarah Williams. She was 2 years junior to us and was known for her beauty since her freshman year. Despite her looks, she was humble, polite, and soft-spoken. She quickly became the beauty icon of the campus. When she joined our club, Mark began his relentless pursuit of her. From the sidelines, it was obvious that Sarah was bothered by the attitude Mark displayed, but he kept asking her out regardless, something all club members had noticed. One day, Sarah approached me to express her concern about Mark's persistent invitations. At the time, I had become the club president, so it was natural for her to come to me saying, "If his invitations persist, I'll quit the club, but I'm scared I might provoke Mark anger." Thus, I further discussed the matter at hand with other members and promised Sarah that we will try our best to keep Mark away from her. Thanks to the full cooperation from the members and the parties concerned, Mark finally stopped his annoying attitude toward Sarah. However, I ended up becoming a complete adversary in Mark's eyes. Even when other club members intervened, Mark's attitude towards me never changed until graduation. Meeting Mark again after 8 years, I felt no particular emotion. If anything, it was more of a hassle. However, standing next to Mark was a woman who seemed to be his wife, and a young boy. "Mark, you got married, huh?" "Yeah, you wouldn't know since I didn't invite you to the wedding," he said with a smirk. Honestly, even if I had been invited, I wasn't sure whether I would have attended. "Nice to meet you. I'm Mark's wife, Megan. And this is our son, Alex." "Say hello, Alex." "Alex Thompson." "Hello, mister." Prompted by his mother, the boy greeted me. I bent down to his level and greeted him back. "Hello, Alex. I'm Mike Johnson. It's great to see you can greet people so well." The boy, clearly delighted at being praised, clung to his mother's skirt and shyly smiled. Megan looked at Alex with a gentle smile. It was a warm and endearing scene. "So, Mike, how do you know my husband?" "Mark and I were in the same college club, so we've known each other since then." "Oh, is that so?" As Megan and I talked, Alex joined in. "You went to college too and studied, right?" "That's right." "Alex, do you like studying?" "Yeah, I like doing addition. It's fun. And learning about flags too. He's been good at remembering things since he was little." "Wow, that's impressive, Alex." He blushed at my words, but giggled and said, "Hee." He was really adorable. "Humph. He's my kid, of course, he's smart." Mark's boastful comment disrupted the pleasant atmosphere. He looked smug. "So, Mike, are you here to buy toys for your kids too? Where's your family?" He looked around as he spoke. "No, I'm here to buy Christmas presents for my nephew and niece. I'm single." "Ha, you're over 30 and still alone. That's pathetic." Mark immediately seized on my words. Megan and Alex's expression stiffened, and I could tell. "Haha, just haven't found the right person yet." I tried to lighten the mood, but Mark's mockery continued. "No surprise there. A guy like you, a handsome man without brains, won't attract women. You suck up to the bosses, but your technique won't work with women. Well, I married her quickly, unlike you." As he said this, putting his arm around Megan, as if he were trying to showing off. "I see. Hurry up and get married, Mike. In my opinion, a man's life starts when he gets married and becomes a breadwinner. I have a happy family, cute kid, and a thriving career. But it seems like you can't get anything." Mark laughed loudly, in stark contrast to Megan, who looked down. Seeing Alex looking up at his mother with concern, my heart ached. "You to be attending the reunion, right, Mike?" "Yeah, I plan to." "Is that so?" Hee. Mark chuckled at my response, seemingly amused. I wondered what he was thinking. "Well, see you at the reunion, Mike. Looking forward to it. Come on, let's go." With a smirking face, Mark quickly left the scene, leaving Megan and Alex behind. Megan gave me an apologetic nod and hurried after Mark, pulling Alex along. He hasn't changed a bit. I sighed as I watched Megan and Alex disappear into the crowd. The college club reunion was coming up soon. The thought of meeting Mark again weighed on me, but I decided to just ignore him like old times. Reinvigorated, I resumed choosing gifts for my nephew and niece. The day after running into Mark, I received an email from the reunion organizer. "The reunion will be held during the day. If possible, please come with your family or partner. We can arrange a kids' menu if requested." It was a sudden change, but perhaps more people with children couldn't attend otherwise. The venue, a shop run by one of our members, could accommodate the increase in numbers. I looked forward to the reunion, anticipating a lively day. On the day of the reunion, blessed with good weather, familiar faces gathered at the chosen venue. About 60% of the attendees seemed to have brought their families or partners. Amid the lively chatter and children's voices, the reunion began. "Oh, Mr. President, I found you here." Mark approached me with an exaggerated tone. I saw Megan and Alex with him. As I nodded to them, Alex waved his hand at me. "Well, looking around, seems like everyone's here with their families or girlfriends. But Mr. President here is still alone as ever." Mark laughed mockingly, clearly enjoying himself. Everyone at our table seemed exasperated by his behavior. "I guess I'll just have to share in everyone's happiness today." "Sure, do that. After all, I'm probably the luckiest guy here. A beautiful wife and adorable kid. You must be jealous, Mike. Hey, why don't I let you babysit some time? It'll be good practice for you in the future." Ha ha ha. Mark's words were as unpleasant as ever. But, just like our last encounter, his family was here. I tried to respond as cheerfully as possible to avoid spoiling the mood. A friend, who was one of the organizers, whispered to me in disbelief. I thought it was strange when Mark suddenly asked to make it family and partner-friendly. So this was his plan. Ha ha ha. Perhaps he came up with this idea during our encounter in the toy section. It seemed as if he used the reunion as a platform to mock my single status. But, I thought to myself, maybe in a way, it was a good move on Mark's part. His suggestion it allow more people to enjoy the event, including those who wouldn't have been able to attend otherwise. Men and women aren't really complete until they have kids, right? We're the foundation of society at our age. I just can't understand people who are still single. Oh Mike, sorry man. I'm just brutally honest, you know. Alex, don't end up like this guy, okay? Mark, there are others here who came alone too. You should be careful with your words. Ah, there it is. That goody two-shoes act, just like old times. Trying to win people over with your nice guy routine. It's embarrassing to even know someone unmarried at our age. It almost seemed like a talent, the way he could provoke so much without even a drop of alcohol. Once again, he made me aware that he still hates me, but I wondered how he would manage conversations with his colleagues or other parents. Deciding that any response from me would only escalate things, I chose to just smile and get through the situation. However, my friends around were starting to get angry at Mark's harsh words. People have their reasons. Be more mindful of what you say. You're not a kid anymore. A little consideration is enough to understand that. You're still the same, Mark. What? What's wrong with you guys? On his side, huh? Poor things, deceived by Mike's facade. Mark retorted, clearly displeased by my friend's admonishments. Fortunately, a group of women with their children nearby quickly intervened and moved Megan and Alex away from the unpleasant scene. Despite this, Mark continued his tirade, not just towards me but seemingly against everyone. He really hadn't changed at all. Mark, you have a wife and a kid. You should learn to speak more respectfully. You can't let children hear that kind of wording. Mike, leave Mark alone and join us over here. I'm thinking about switching jobs and want to hear about your company. All right. Thanks to my friend inviting me to a circle of other classmates, I was able to stay away from Mark and finally enjoy a good time with them. After a while, someone approached me with a hesitant Turning around, I saw Mark's wife, Megan. Standing up, I greeted her again. I'm really sorry for what my husband said earlier. It was very inappropriate of him. Mark, you have a wife and a kid. You should learn to speak more respectfully. You can't let children hear that kind of wording. It wasn't necessary for her as his wife to apologize for him. I quickly responded to her, saying, "There's no need for you to feel bad." Then, she began speaking with a somber look. "He's always been like that, even back when he was with you all," she murmured softly. I found myself at a loss for words but decided to be honest. Well, he's always been harsh with his words since our student days, often clashing with those around him. That's still the case. He's rude to people at work and to the parents at Alex's school. I've told him many times to change your attitude, but he doesn't take it seriously. She said this with a troubled smile. Being Mark's wife, she must be going through a lot. I can easily imagine her struggles. Alex is a bright and well-mannered boy. Thank you. Despite his age, he might be using his father as an example of what not to be. I don't want him to end up like Mark either, she said. Megan. I glanced over to where Mark was, speaking boastfully to some of our old circle members, who looked visibly upset. It was a familiar scene, just like in the past, where his behavior pushed people away. It seemed nothing had changed. Mike, thank you for being so considerate with someone like him. No, it's nothing. But, ironically, my approach seems to irritate Mark even more. I recalled my long history of dealing with Mark and couldn't help but give a wry smile. If only he could realize the kindness everyone's showing him, maybe he'd change, but that's probably wishful thinking. I'm glad I came here today, Megan said, diverting her gaze from Mark and offering a smile. There seemed to be a sort of resolve in that smile, or was it just my imagination? As I was talking with Megan, the entrance door opened, and a woman walked in. Sorry I'm late. Glad I made it. Sarah, we've missed you. Wow. The beauty icon of our club has arrived. It was Sarah. She seemed a bit out of breath, possibly from rushing. As soon as she arrived, people gathered around her, a testament to her enduring popularity. While she was exchanging greetings with everyone, our eyes met unexpectedly. Mike, it's been so long, she said, waving and smiling gently. Her cheeks were slightly flushed, perhaps from hurrying. My heart raced at her smile. She had always been cute, but now, 8 years later, she had grown into a woman with an adult's poise and charm, radiating beauty. Mike, caught in my admiration for Sarah, I was speechless as she approached me. A nudge from a friend nearby brought me back to reality, and I hurriedly responded, noticing a smirk on my friend's face. Saw Sarah. It's been a while. You look great. Yes. You too, Mike. I'm happy to see you. Me too. I'm happy to see you, Sarah. As I said this, I noticed the blush on Sarah's cheeks deepen. Talking to her, now so beautiful, made me incredibly nervous, as it had been since graduation. I struggled to keep my words from tangling as we continued to chat. Then Sarah's gaze shifted to Megan. Mike, I wonder who this lady is. That's Mark's wife, Megan. She's here with their son today. Nice to meet you. I'm Megan, Mark's wife. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm Sarah, a junior from the club. They exchanged greetings. I thought for a moment you were Mike's wife. Sarah looked embarrassed about her misunderstanding. Megan smiled while watching Sarah's reaction. No, I was just apologizing for my husband's behavior towards Mike earlier. Don't worry. Oh, I didn't mean to. Huh? Is everything okay? What was Megan talking about? And why was Sarah so flustered? As I pondered these questions, Mark made his way through the crowd. He approached Sarah, coming right up to her. Sarah, long time no see. You're as cute as ever. So, what are you doing now? Where do you live? Mark, long time no see. While Mark eagerly pressed her for answers, Sarah slowly backed away, trying to maintain distance. It's been a while, and there's so much to catch up on. How about we get together sometime? Ignoring Sarah's discomfort, Mark kept bombarding her with questions and even tried to ask her out for a meal. Apparently oblivious to the presence of his own wife, Megan and I, unable to hold our temper any longer, spoke up almost simultaneously. Hey, Mark, back off a bit. Mark, can't you see you're making Sarah uncomfortable? Startled at first by our intervention, Mark quickly identified who was speaking and audibly clicked his tongue in annoyance. TCH, don't get in the way. You should be with Alex and exercise your parenting skills. Such a waste. You, Mark, that's no way to speak. And remember, you're Alex's father. I ran out of patience, so I snapped at Mark for his harsh words to Megan. Then, Mark turned his anger towards me, uttering, I don't need to be lectured by someone who isn't even married. I was just pointing out her negligence as a mother. It's not about being married or not. Can't you see you're hurting your wife with your words? Huh? Hurt her? That's ridiculous. She's head over heels for me, and I'm the breadwinner here. What's wrong with pointing out her failures? His lack of remorse was evident, and everyone around frowned at his words. You wouldn't understand, Mike. You don't know the weight of supporting a family. The difficulty of educating an imperfect wife and a son. Even if you get married, you'll be with a worthless woman who was deceived by your charm and smooth talking. While putting me down, he laughs out loud, telling me that we're living in a different world. His attitude and ridiculous words ignited my anger because he insults not only me but also Megan and Alex. And it wasn't just me who felt that way. Mark, you're the worst. You hadn't changed at all since the old days. Sarah spoke to Mark in a tone colder than I'd ever heard from her before. Everything Mike said is right. The one who's wrong here is you, Mark. Mike has always been considerate and acted for everyone's good. That's what everyone trusts and follows him. Compared to that, what have you done? You've always just said what you wanted, causing trouble for everyone around you. Mark was visibly shocked by Sarah's reproach. It's uncomfortable to say this in front of your wife, but when you pursued me in the past, even after I clearly rejected you, you kept asking persistently. It was really bothersome. Mike and the other members protected me from you. Thanks to them, I was able to enjoy my university life. Despite that, you keep saying terrible things to Mike and everyone else, especially treating Mike horribly. I hoped you would change a bit as a working adult, but you haven't changed at all. You would change a bit as a working adult, but you haven't changed at all. No, you've become even worse. Saying such awful things even to your own wife. As a woman and your wife's fellow, I find your words utterly unforgivable. There were claps and nods of agreement from around the room. Mark probably never expected to be criticized like this by Sarah, whom he once fancied. He was visibly flustered. In the midst of this, Megan spoke up. Sarah, Mike, thank you for extending emotional support to us, she said in her determined tone, and then looked firmly at Mark. In the midst of this, Megan spoke up. Mark, Sarah's words, your attitude today, and the many harsh words you've hurled at Mike. As she said, you hadn't changed from the old days. I can no longer tolerate your arrogant charade of a family. I declare here, in front of everyone, I will divorce you. There was a stir among everyone present. Mark was no exception. What? What are you talking about? Stop joking. It's not funny. He tried to laugh it off, but his expression was frozen. This is no joke. I'm serious. And of course, I will take custody of Alex. What? Alex is my son. He'll be unhappy with a mother like you. I should raise him. What do you think of yourself? You have done nothing so far. Can you raise him alone? You are alienated at school and elsewhere. Are you really willing to do everything for him? Don't make me laugh. Megan's cold words struck Mark hard. Even we bystanders could sense her firm resolve. Don't be ridiculous. I didn't do anything on purpose. It was for your personal growth and life skill enhancement. But of course, I can do it much better than you. A child needs a father. Alex would obviously prefer a well-standing father like me over a failed mother. And if people find out about the divorce, it'll affect my career. Even in this situation, Mark's selfish words focused only on saving his own face, leaving everyone speechless. Then, Alex, who was supposed to be playing with other children, perhaps drawn by the commotion or looking for his mother, had made his way to Megan. Dad, just stop it. Mom always works hard, taking care of me and you, and doing everything at home. Why can't you just say thank you or sorry to her? Even today, you've been saying awful things to Dad's friends. It's embarrassing. With tears in his eyes and a desperate plea, even Mark had to fall silent. I want Mom with me, not you, Dad. You don't love me, but Mom does. She always loves me. Mom, you don't have to endure it anymore. It's okay if we're not with Dad. I just want you to be happy and smiling. Hearing Alex's words and seeing him hug Megan tightly made my heart ache. Such a young child being forced to feel this way. It was clear how Mark's usual behavior had affected him. The cold stares of everyone around were now focused on Mark. Alex, I think I made it clear to you that Alex and I have made up our minds. I don't want to cause him any more pain. It's over, Megan said firmly, turning away from Mark to face us. Everyone, I'm really sorry for ruining what should have been a pleasant reunion. Sarah, Mike, thank you for caring about us. It meant a lot. She looked at everyone, then, holding Alex's hand tightly, said, "Excuse us," and left the venue. Mark stood stunned for a moment, but as the door closed behind Megan and Alex, he snapped back to reality and hurried after them. Though we were left dumbfounded, one of the organizers quickly switched the mood, saying, "We still have time. Let's start over." The reunion resumed. Although there was an awkward atmosphere initially, Mark's absence eventually made it more comfortable, and soon the lively atmosphere returned. The reunion, despite its unexpected turn of events, peacefully continued. A few days later, some of us from the reunion decided to meet again for a more relaxed chat after work. We were waiting and chatting at a busy station near the meeting spot. "Hey, Mike." I turned around, surprised. "Mark." There stood Mark, with dark circles under his eyes, wearing a wrinkled shirt and coat, looking somewhat haggard. "It's all your fault. You must have said something to Megan." Mark stormed towards me, accusatory and furious. "Hey, calm down. What are you talking about?" I tried to calm Mark down with our friends, but his anger was unabated. "She proved her word. She will divorce me. She left with Alex. I can't contact her, and even her parents won't let me into their house." After that day, Megan really left with Alex, intending to divorce. My friends and I exchanged looks. It was unfortunate, but Mark had brought this upon himself. There was nothing we could do. "Mark, it's not my fault that Megan decided to divorce you. You need to face your own actions and their consequences." One of our friends interjected. "Mark, it's your fault, not Mike's. You never valued your wife and son, and now you're facing the consequences." "Mark, we've all been telling you for ages. Think about others before you speak. You didn't listen, and now you're facing the consequences. It's not Mike's, your wife's, or your child's fault. It's yours." Mark's bluster began to wane under the weight of these words. "Mark, Megan has been struggling because of you. At work, with Alex. She's been showing signs of reaching her limit. Why didn't you notice? You married her, but why didn't you cherish her more? Instead of blaming me, why don't you try to make amends with her?" Recalling Megan and Alex's expressions that day, I couldn't help but raise my voice. Mark became quiet, muttering to himself as he wandered off into the crowd. Will he be okay? I heard that after his wife and son left, he messed up at work too. He's either going to be demoted or fired. It's all self-inflicted, but still, it's a tough situation. We watched Mark leave, feeling a mix of frustration and pity. Later, I heard from a friend that Mark did indeed get divorced and left his job. Megan and her parents were firm in their decision to divorce, and no persuasion could change their minds. At work, Mark lashed out at a junior colleague, and when his superior tried to intervene, he hurled insults, leading to serious consequences. He was initially on suspension, but after numerous reports of his misconducts, he was demoted. Unable to accept the decisions made by the company, he resigned. After losing everything, I wondered what Mark might be thinking. I didn't like his personality, and I was always used to being on the receiving end of his tirades. I couldn't defend his actions, but I hoped this might be a wake-up call for him to reflect on his behavior. As for me, I resolved to continue treating those around me with kindness and consideration. After all, there are things in my life I never want to lose. Mike. Sarah. Be careful, don't rush. What if you fall? I know. You worry too much, Dad. Sarah chuckled while gently touching her belly. Sarah and I started dating after that reunion. I was surprised to learn that she had special feelings for me since our college days, something all our friends apparently knew except me. She teased me for being oblivious. Things progressed quickly between us, and soon we were married, surrounded by many friends, including Megan and her son, who we'd kept in touch with since that day. Everyone celebrated our new beginning with joyous festivities. Now, Sarah is carrying our child. She looks up to Megan, who's become a steadfast and reliable senior mom figure for her. Megan and her son initially struggled financially after the divorce, but being free from Mark's abusive behavior brought them peace. Megan's face brightened when she talked about their new life. When I saw Alex again after a long time, he had grown into a kind and lively boy, resembling Mark in appearance but caring deeply for his mother and the pregnant Sarah. I hope our child grows up to be as warm-hearted as Alex.